everyone, welcome to my channel and to this video. I just wanted to come to you all and briefly discuss the energies and what's going on for this new moon. A lot of us refer to it as the dark moon, but basically the new moon in Gemini that we will be having on Wednesday, June the 13th, which is super special for all of you who know how the days of the month goes. Wednesday is known as Mercury Day, and it's a great time to do work revolving around safe travel, speech, written communication, speediness, negotiations of any kind, and even gambling. And it doesn't necessarily have to be gambling with money or going to a casino. It could be something as extreme as gambling with your life, or something as minor as taking a chance on a person or a project or a job opportunity. That could be looked at as a gamble. But anyhow, we all know Mercury is the ruler of both Gemini and Virgo, so that's just an extra little boost, really, when we're talking about writing things down and communication and our speech and our travel. It's a huge boost having this new moon in Gemini on Wednesday, Mercury's day. So with that being said, I definitely felt the need to come on here and kind of, give you guys a heads up about this so that you can use this time, use that day to really just use it to your benefit and use all the powers that are available to you. When I say power, that's just another word for energy. As far as the title go, there is power in the word. And I know a lot of Christians understand that when, you say the word is the Bible, or the word is the word given to man by God and all these other things. Well, if you're like myself, you know that you are God. If you are a child of God, that makes you God. So that means you have powers available to you to use in order to complete your mission, complete your purpose that you were sent to this earth to do. And so we need to make sure we're aware of them, and we need to make sure that we use them to the best of our abilities. So enough with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this new moon that we're having on Wednesday, June the 13th. It's definitely providing us with an opportunity to forgive, to release, to cleanse, and to heal ourselves from the past, whether it was this past lunar cycle, this past month, or whether it's been the past few years, or whether it was your past in regards to your childhood or your upbringing. Whatever your past, your specific past may be, this is the perfect time to forgive, release, cleanse, and heal from that. We must do this so that we may move forward with a clear conscience and a light heart. It's essentially that ba'at, the balance. Is your heart as light as a feather? And your heart can be weighed down with guilt or remorse, or anything can weigh you down, but we're not supposed to allow that to happen. We are supposed to reaffirm in ourselves the goodness that we have in ourselves, the balance that we have achieved, our achievements, everything. We're supposed to take that in and be grateful, be happy, be celebratory of our triumphs and where we are now. That even through the storm, even through all your trials and tribulations, you are still here. You are still triumphant. Okay, and that will help you get a light heart and to no longer be weighed down. We want to move forward and move into this moon cycle, this new moon cycle, renewed and refreshed, so that we can make sure that we come in with a clean slate. I'm tongue-tied. Come on now, Mercury, work with me. But we can come into this with a clean slate and know that we are new creatures, right? So for the new moon, On Wednesday, set aside a few hours. You don't need a lot of time, but whatever feels comfortable for you, set aside a few hours on this day to conduct your new moon ritual without any distractions or putting yourself in a place where you might have some disturbance. Speaking on distractions, there goes my phone, which I should have put on silent. But, anyways, make sure you set yourself up to do this ritual without disturbance or distractions. So remember to put your phone on silent or turn it off. No TV, no radio, no nothing. It should be quiet in your space so that you can be with yourself and your thoughts. And remember that this ritual is a spiritual. It has spiritual significance, and it's supposed to be a symbolism of a physical symbolism of what's going to happen to you spiritually as well as physically. Okay, so you prepare your spiritual bath. That's the first thing that you want to do. If you do not have the facility to take a bath, you only can take showers, that's fine. Just simply create get like a bowl or a nice sized bucket, something that you can easily hold over on top of your head, and pour the substance over your head while you're in the shower after you have bathed. No matter if you're taking a bath or if you're taking a shower, use a soap that is a cleansing soap, because you're physically cleansing your body, yes, but that physical cleansing is a representation of your spiritual cleansing. So be very intentional in everything that you use during your bath. I like to use mint soap, African black soap, eucalyptus soap. They do have those soaps everywhere, so you can easily find them at a health food store or at African shop or something like that holds those type of items. They're pretty easy and they're not that expensive. I haven't found anything over $5 for a bar, and they're thick bars too. They last a very long time. So get a type of soap like that, a cleansing soap that will do a physical as well as a spiritual cleanse for you. And the mint, the eucalyptus, the African black soap, all of those do it, as well as lemongrass, if you can find it. If you don't have availability to get a soap quite like that, you only have regular soap right now, like I'm not going to name no names, but then drink a tea. You can drink a lemongrass tea. If you don't like lemongrass tea, regular black tea or green tea will do. Mint tea is great for that as well. You can even do chamomile or cinnamon tea. Whatever works best for you, create that tea, and make sure that you save enough to put in your bath water. Drink some, but make sure you have enough to put into your bath water or the bowl that you're going to be using to pour over top of your head during your shower. For your bath water, you can use whatever you are led to use. That's my best recommendation. Whatever you are led to use, use it. If you already know what you like to use for your spiritual baths, this is not for you. But for you people who are just starting to get into this spiritual life, the spiritual journey, use whatever you are led to use. That's the best way to go, because you are always guided and led by your higher self and by your spirit guides and by your ancestors. Not particularly in that order, but y'all know what I'm saying. So trust that. Trust your intuition. But just a good rule of thumb, whenever you're doing a new moon cleansing bath, spiritual bath, sea salt. Sea salt, sea salt, sea salt. I like to use Himalayan pink sea salt just because I like the color and other things too, but I really like the color that it gives me. It really makes me feel connected with Mami Wata, Yemoja. I just really feel connected with them. Even Oshun, if I'm using like love bath type of thing. I haven't done that in a long time, so maybe we'll do that sometime later. But any sea salt would do. Himalayan is fine. Hawaiian pink sea salt is cool if you're on the West Coast or somewhere in the islands, as well as Epsom salt. Oh my goodness, if you don't have some Epsom salt, you need to get some, especially if you're an athlete or you're someone who does a lot of physical labor, a lot of physical work, um, long hours. Get the Epsom salt. That's also used in spiritual ritual, spiritual practice. So it's truly a godsend. So you can get that, mix that in. Add some essential oils of your liking. Lavender is great. A lavender oil, essential oil. There's plenty of oils that you can pick from to give it a great scent, because scent is important. Scent is important. It's definitely something that speaks to your senses. So that's important. Make sure you mix that in with your bath. White candle or candles is always preferred over any other color. Non-scented would be best, but if you do get a scent, something that's like a clean sheet, clean, cleansing type of smell, you guys know what it smells like. Vanilla is fine. If candles is something that you can't quite burn in your establishment, I definitely recommend incense. Incense. Doesn't matter what type you burn, they all do pretty much the same function. If you want something more specific, like, oh, I need an incense for protection to dispel evil or negative energies from around me so that I can clear my space, burn sage, burn myrrh works well with that, frankincense works well with that. Lilac works well with that. Dragon's blood. I mean, the list goes on. So get, like I said, whatever you feel led to get. If you can't burn candles, get that incense. And it's extremely important because that incense, that smoke that you see rising, there's a Bible verse. I can't remember where exactly it is. It may be in Revelations. It may be in Proverbs. It may be in Ecclesiastics. I don't know. It's definitely in the Bible though, where it speaks about how our prayers is like a sweet smelling scent to the Lord. And that's a beautiful poetic way of simply saying that while we're in this form of a heavy thought, of clarity, of cleansing, of meditation, that when we burn these scents, when we burn it, that smoke goes up and it's a physical form of what is spiritually taking place. Okay, what is taking place in the unseen. All right, so you're sending up that message. All right, you're sending up that message. And that sage is a protection as well, but it also dispels the evil and negative energies. So when you burn that sage and you let that sage, that smoke, just smoke up your body and smoke up your room, open up a window or a door, or some type of passage way to allow the smoke to leave, because that is a symbolic as well as actually what's happening is that you are dispelling that evil and negative energy out so that you are cleansed and you're able to take your bath with this cleansed self, and then you physically cleanse yourself, and then which once again is symbolic for the spirit, and now you're able to go into a meditation zone. You're going to do this in the bath or in the shower, and people do it without even knowing it. I liked, before I really got into the spiritual journey. Now I'm trying to get y'all things done, and now the doorbell is ringing. Okay, give me 1 second, y'all. I tell you, this Gemini season has been a beautiful one. I was not playing when I said y'all energy is bringing all of my people together. And I'm probably sure you guys are experiencing it too with your family, old friends, just people are just coming together. Isn't that beautiful, Gemini? Anyways, so yeah, you're cleansing yourself so that you're going into a meditative mode during your bath time to be able to reflect upon whatever you need to reflect upon, because this is a cleansing moment to mentally cleanse as well as physically as well as spiritually. So in any ritual, you want to incorporate all of the elements, all four elements of earth, air, fire, and water. And so when you're doing the bath and you're lighting these incense or candles and you are smoking out or smudging your room and yourself, This is working with the fire and water elements. It's the fire. Fire is spirit. Okay, it's dealing with the spirit form. That's why it goes through and it purifies. It cleanses and purifies so that it's full clarity. You can actually see. During the new moon, there's an alignment between the moon, the earth, and the sun. So you are not, there's no casting of shadows. There's none of that happening. You get to see clearly what is happening, what's taking place, so that you may make the right moves moving forward for the rest of the lunar cycle into the full moon that is coming up. So when you're using that fire form, you're thinking about that cleansing, that protection, that purification. And then the water provides extra cleansing, but it also provides an emotional healing, okay, as well as a spiritual healing. So that water is that healing function. Because remember, if you don't cleanse the wound before, you do anything else, it's not going to heal properly. My grandmother, I call her my G mama. She's here for vacation for a little while, for 2 weeks, and so I'm so excited to have her and all her stories, even the ones I've heard before and the new ones I have never heard of. And this one particular story she's never told me, but she just so happened just to bring it up, of when she was younger, and she had cut her thumb to the point where it went straight through to the bone. It was very close to just being hanging there. And so my great grandmother, her mother, took her, told her go get some alcohol so she could cleanse it. And then after she cleansed it, she went and got spider webs, and she put the spider webs over top of the wound, the open gaping wound, and then she bandaged it up, and then it was healed. Of course it took some time to heal, but it healed, and she has no scar, absolutely no scar. And she was joking with her physician, her doctor, who performed a surgery on her some years back. And she joked with him and saying, well, I could have just got some spider web because you left a scar. She has a huge scar from where she had her surgery. And so there's many lessons within that story. I'm not going to talk about all the things I've learned from that story. You can take what you want to take from it. But one of the things I definitely took from it was that in order for something to heal properly and not have that scar, that keloid, that anything, you need to make sure you take the right measures, okay? And this is what the new moon provides. It provides you with that time to take to cleanse and to properly heal from all of your emotional scars, all of those emotional wounds, those spiritual attacks, everything. It allows you the opportunity to do a ritual to provide protection over yourself for the rest of the lunar cycle, as well as a purification so that you may know the best way to go about this cycle. So remember, you're doing that fire and you're doing that water. You're doing that spiritual working, that spiritual cleansing, and you're doing that emotional working, that emotional cleansing. And it's all about self. You can't change anyone else. You can't change the circumstances, but you can reflect and analyze how you react to certain situations. What is your response, your first response? And how can you do better? How can you train yourself to respond in a way that will benefit you and ultimately benefit the people around you? If you change yourself, then you will see change around you. And that's a beautiful message that the new moon always provides for us. So while you're going through that spiritual bath, you're reflecting on all of those things of the past. You're reflecting on your triumphs as well as your trials and your failures. You're reflecting on all of that. You're analyzing everything so that you may clear away those thoughts. Because essentially when you get out of your bath and you get to your writing mode, you don't want to have to be thinking about all those other things that will naturally come to your mind to try to distract you or take you away from your true intentions, because that's what you're writing down. You're writing down your true intentions, what you intend on doing, as well as what you expect to come your way. because you put forth, took the first step and you did what you need to do to physically provide, but the spiritually will ultimately um, enhance, and provide the increase, you know. And so anyway, so after you're done with the bath, go ahead, get out of the bath, clear the water. Some people throw their water out in their front yard, their backyard during a certain time the next day. That's all on you and what you're led to do on what to do with the bath water. But if you don't have that option, you can simply make sure that you watch the water roll down the tub into the sink, or the hole, and think of it as it releasing all of those negative thoughts and negative patterns of the past. You are essentially analyzing and thinking upon and reflecting upon your behaviors and actions of the past so that you can make the right, changes, okay? And that you can clear that out of your mind so that you can have clear focus when you get to writing down your intentions for this lunar cycle. Because essentially, whatever you're intending on doing, you should expect to see some type of major or significant, results or some type of progress once the full moon gets here. So once the full moon gets here, that's your kind of like your goal mark. It might not be the ultimate goal mark, the end one, the end post. It might just be your first goal mark, and you have several more down the way. However you structure it out, you'll figure it out once you sit down and you write it out, your intentions, your wants, your desires, the desires of your heart. Thinking about when you were a child, what you wanted to be and what you wanted to do, and to have like a childlike imagination and creativity, and not to hold yourself back and thinking, well, I can't possibly do this, so I'm not going to write it down. Write it down. I mean, go at it. Whatever is your big dream, write it down. I'm telling you, the energy is so thick with power, right now. From, the sun and moon being in Gemini. And then we're having this new moon on a Wednesday, Mercury's day. And then we're having not only that, but also Mercury will be in Cancer. Okay? So this is a lot of power. This is a lot of power. And Jupiter is in Scorpio. I believe it's retrograde. It might not be. I might be confusing it with Pluto. I'm gonna have to check that. So don't don't mark my words on that. It might be. But either way, Jupiter is in Scorpio. So this is extra purifying energy that's going to aid all of us in the investigation of our hearts. Write it down, speak it out loud, okay? Because essentially what you're doing is you're providing power. It's like a seal of approval with the breath, okay? With your breath. Now you already did the fire and the water. Now you're doing the air and the physical, the air and the earth. When you take it and you write it down, you're making it physical, you're making it plain. And then you are providing that extra, that seal of approval with your spoken word. Okay? I think it's, well, anyways, there's so many Bible verses I could take from. I know some of you like, she only talks about Bible verses. Well, not true. I do talk about other African systems and what have you. But since my major audience is Americans, and we have been Christianized, very much so, I want to always speak on references that you can easily obtain and easily find and easily identify with. It's nothing wrong with the Bible. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with any of the religious systems. There's something wrong with the people, though. Anyways, so just remember, it's the breath. It's your word. Your spoken word holds so much power. whatever you speak, you're speaking it into existence. So if you're always speaking negative, if you're always speaking down upon yourself, if you're always having that negative words, the I cannot, that I do not, I will not, like all that is so negative. Like, to change it around into a positive, you can make anything change into a positive. You know, for example, I am not smart. Okay, that's obviously a negative, right? I can change it into I am very intelligent, because we're all intelligent in some type of way, right? I wasn't specific, but generally we're all intelligent. So I am intelligent. I might not be very smart at, I don't know, I can't even think negatively. I really can't, because I'm always changing stuff to the positive just because I know the power of words and I know the power of what we speak into existence. So it's hard for me to even come up with an example, to be honest. But practice that. Practice self-affirmations. Practice positive self-affirmations. If you ever write down something and you see a negative word, like a no word, basically, anything that's close to no, then switch it around to say something that is positive. You can always do that. Hell, leave some examples in the comments section, because I'm really, like, I can't think of anything right now. But in any case, that is the importance of this new moon in Gemini. It is extremely powerful for your true intentions, your desires of the heart. It's time to make them a reality, and this ritual will boost that power that you naturally have to make your dreams into a reality. So with that being said, I'm so happy to have you with me. We have come to the end. If you not have done so already, please subscribe so that you can be notified of all the videos that I come through with. I don't have a whole bunch of videos, but when I do come through with it, you definitely want to be, up on the trend. So subscribe, like the video if it resonates with you and you like the video, go ahead and like it. And also, if you are on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at Giselle B Blazin. I will put up my Instagram soon enough. I haven't been on there because I'm just not a social media type person, but I'll get that up and running for people, and hopefully I'll be able to do some daily card pulls and inspirational quotes and what have you, once I get my Instagram up and running. But until then, I will see you all for the Cancer horoscopes for Cancer season. I will only be doing cardinal signs for Cancer season horoscope, and I'll be doing Leo and Virgo. If you really, really, really want me to do any of your other signs, your sun, moon, or rising, if your sun, moon, or rising is not a cardinal sign, or if it's not a Leo or a Virgo, then please, in the comment section below, leave your sun sign, moon sign, and ascendant sign or rising sign, and I will do those for you. I will honor those requests. So far, only one person has commented. Totally cool. That leaves me with only 6 signs that I have to worry about. But if you really, really want your sign to be read for the horoscope, leave a comment below. So just to remind you what signs will be read, that's all cardinal. That's Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, Libra. And then I will do Leo and Virgo because it was requested. So leave a comment below, thumbs up this video, subscribe. Until the next time, keep trailblazing on. Peace.